And hello everyone! Today we are back with episode 22 of our ComputerCraft series. On the last episode we needed some time to figure out what was going on in the end. After a few days of research that was actually resolved, but some weird behaviors came visible that I was sure we have fixed in the past, but are popping up again, or our way of fixing it didn't work. I don't know what was going on. Something was. One thing is, which is we need to fix, and we need to make sure that it will never happen again. Those are two different things, and I'll explain that. One error that we have gotten is from the Brave API on line 274. That slot 17 is out of range. So I'm expecting that that is going to be something with a slot that the turtle is trying to select, and for some reason it tends to get on line 17 or on slot 17, which is not great. Further down, this is here. So it is this select line. I will make that a bit larger for you guys. Apparently that can go into slot 17 if it cannot find anything else to place, and if it is between either in slot 40, 15 or 16. Apparently when it gets to slot 16 it's going to give some issue with that. And we implemented this to, I believe, make sure that liquids are gone, or at least lava is gone. If not turtle dig, then it goes into a place loop, or at least it tries to loop and go for all its inventory slots. But if it cannot dig, or there is nothing, or there is bedrock, for now we assume that there is nothing, then it will get to the selected slot, select slot +1 if it cannot place anything. So, and this error only occurred on the start of a new section, so that's an important thing that might be handy. So it tries to place fuel. That didn't work out for some reason. Maybe there was something in front of it, and a monster was running in there. No clue what was going on. But it was trying to go past slot 16, which is 17, and that's out of range. So if n equals, let's say 16, then n equals 1. Make sense, I think? So that will at least make sure that it starts over again and not get into that weird situation. But it does mean that it will just start at the beginning, which is not great, since then it can place fuel, which can be the biggest concern, but it just looks weird. So after refueling, select slot 1. Okay, so it should be selecting slot 1 no matter what. Okay, then I have no clue how it got to that slot in the first place, but it happens. Okay, the second thing is that the turtle isn't really going forward when gravel is falling down on it, but also when it wasn't gravel in the first place. So for example, you can see my cursor just above the right turtle. If this block was gravel, then this turtle would actually get stuck in going forward, simply because that gravel is going down. We do already have a forward in our mining section, Let's see how forward looks like. Down, back, forward. Yeah, it doesn't give any error, so that's good. It's not going to mess up anything, it's also good, but it isn't doing anything as well. So let's actually do turtle.dig in this place. So it will at least try to mine what's in front of it. If it can go forward, if this is not true, then it will try to attack. Turtle.attack and an end, of course. I think this will make it rather solid. To at least behave better. So that's all there. Then there is another thing, which is kind of important, which is only something I figured out while running this script. And that was actually underneath my sorter. And I run the script from my pocket computer, and I ran it a second time to activate the second row of turtles, which started later. The problem was that then all the turtles start over from the exact same point where they were at the moment that we launched that script again. So some were going through the ceiling, some were going through the storage itself. It was a mess to clean up and repair. And I think that comes because we run it as an extra tab in the shell API. I think if we just use shell.run, or there is a nicer way to launch a program, then at least it is behaving a bit nicer, to say the least. So I think that is what we are going to do now. We're going to get rid of this open tab thingy, since hopefully that won't launch the script a second time. So this is going to be shell.run, and for this we need to be a bit creative. Here needs to be a space that includes a number. I'm curious to see if this works. If it does, then that would be great. I don't think it will. Let's terminate all of those. Just experiment with one turtle this time. And if it doesn't work, then anything can happen. So we are back. And here we have the last one. By the way, terminating is something you do with Control T. So if everything went all right, we should see only this turtle moving in a moment. I will restart it just to make sure and check how big the distance is that we are giving with it, which I only want to be on like 1 and not 32. Yeah, 1 is going, and I don't see any other turtle going, which is great for our purpose at the moment. Okay, there's still gravel floating in the air. That's something we need to address as well. This goes down. I'm curious to see what happens if I run this a second time. It does nothing. Great. Which makes sense, since on our previous go we had one script running, which is our startup loop, and that is opening another tab which runs the mining script. So then the startup script is still running, which will initiate another mining script if we want to do that, which is not something we want, of course. And now it is still going strong as ever, in which we still need to do something about this gravel. That is interesting how we can fix that, but I'm not sure how to do that actually. There's something here in the suck up. Okay, maybe just in the dig in general, or in the turtle.up. Dig up and up. If it goes up, I think we can include it there actually. If it goes up, yeah, just add it here in the end, turtle.suckup. Suck up. I think that will actually do it for what we are trying to accomplish. Let's cheat a little bit of gravel into the wall. And let's actually go for a full test. See if our fix also worked. A quick restart here. And run it. Okay, that gravel issue has been resolved now. It's not quick, but maybe we can also do it without that. Okay, it is really flying off everywhere. Oh, that's the issue. So that gravel can be everywhere. Okay. So this isn't going to fix anything. And I think that's just going to be an issue that we need to resolve by doing mob slayers, or just leave the gravel behind. Like sand behind, red sand behind, and that sort of stuff, which might be stuff that we are actually farming for, which is not ideal. Yeah, so we cannot fix that. At least we fixed two other things. So what is the next big step? I think the next big step is actually going to make a translation between what we are sending to the turtle and what we actually want the turtle to do. For some reason, everything breaks when I try to send a table with a string inside. I haven't figured out why, but at least we can make it work with numbers. That's what we are going to try and do now. But first, let's check what we actually doing at the moment. So we have a distance, which is some of the parameters that we get thanks to input, which is the starter value. And that starter value is what we actually get from a test variable, but this can be everything, even be info. Info would be a better name for it, which comes from converting all the information that we get from the message itself, and the message itself is being sent and fired by the pool event API. So that's what we get, and in this case that is, I believe, number 1. So number 1 is going to be the LL script in general, and then the distance is added in later. So this is something I actually want to do outside of the start script of the loop, just in the API, just to make it a bit easier, more movable. That makes sense. How are we going to do that in a nice way? Let's have all the convert info. That is all working fine apparently. I'm really happy with that. Because that was quite an issue. This is the sending information. Convert info. Let's make a function. Actually going to make this a little bit smaller so it's actually readable for me. Function convert a message to then. And we do need some kind of input, which will be a table, I think. Put table with English, and we do want to make a checksum if input table the type of this variable equals table, then do stuff, otherwise something went wrong in the conversion tab. You can actually copy this over, copy into this. Not sure if I want to use this print line, but for now let's keep it in there. So test1, test is going to be input table, input table. Yeah, makes sense. Number 1 this time, and this one can get out of here as well. Put, oh no, capital input table. For some reason I always use small letters in Lua, and when I'm working with stuff like PowerShell or stuff, languages like that, I always start with a capital on variables. I have no clue why I'm making that difference, but it's something I'm a bit used to start with a small letter in Lua, and in PowerShell it's quite common to start with a capital letter. Not sure why. That's just how it is. Our input table needs to be test2 in general. So, copy, startup, and then we have this function with test and then variable 2. Can make that all more solid for the future. I don't think we really have to do that. For example, we can include which version of the message it was, but I think for now as a quick test, this does make just as much sense. Reboot, send something, and see what happens. Nothing, so we have work to do. Attempt to call nil in startup, line 18, which is this, which means that the Brave API wasn't loaded. Attempt to call nil. Yeah. There we go. This message in string is converted, all that nonsense happens. But something goes wrong here. Attempt to call nil, which is normally that this thing doesn't exist. But we copied over, so it must exist. Oh wait, it must exist in the Brave API. That could be making a difference. And we made a typo, I guess. In Brave, attempt to call nil. We try to do something that doesn't exist. Does it really need to be small t here? Input table, input table, input table. Could be that is just me messing up once again. Okay. Attempt to index a nil value. On line 66. Input table, yeah. I'm going into the Dutch route once again. And another one, I guess. I think. Line 68. Attempt to index a nil value. Input table 2. It was working a moment ago with this setup. This has actually worked. Combining 16 with 16 is a set value. Let's make that a little bit more nicer to work with. And we can also see if this is just not behaving in this place alone or just in general. Yeah, troubleshooting always takes longer than you imagine. Okay, that one is coming over. This should be coming over as well. Shell.run, input, table that's highlighted. Yeah, it's actually, it's really the correct word. Just give me a moment to figure out what is going on here. Well, as you can see, I've been doing some stuff with it, but I cannot get it to work either. Don't ask me why, but this is going to be a nice cliffhanger for the next episode. On the next episode, I hope I've already found a fix for this, or we will be working on that. Secondly, we will be adding more comments to our script, to our APIs, to config files and stuff like that. Since we haven't done that in a while, for example, this send info definitely needs a bit more, explanation of what is going on here. Just as this, it's all a big mess. Store items, and thinking this script as well. Just a little bit. There's not much that needs to be in here. Startup does, yeah, can look a bit neater and actually work in the first place. But that's all going to be work on next time. Have a good day, night, evening. I hope you have enjoyed it and learned some from it as well. Have a good day, night, evening, and see you next time. Bye.